Welcome, everyone. Today we are learning how to manage several tasks at once without feeling overwhelmed.
Hello. We call this handling simultaneous projects, or more informally, juggling multiple priorities.
I am currently juggling 3 major priorities, and it feels like a circus act sometimes.
It does, Emma, but with the right vocabulary, we can organize that chaos logically.
Let's start with simultaneous projects. This means 2 or more projects happening at the exact same time.
It sounds intense, but it is the reality of most modern offices.
To succeed, you must categorize them by urgency and importance.
Exactly. You cannot give 100% to everything at once, so you have to rotate your focus.
One of my favorite phrases is, "Let's break this down into manageable milestones."
A milestone is a significant stage or event in the development of something.
Instead of looking at a huge project, I just look at the next milestone to stay calm.
Breaking it down prevents the team from feeling like the finish line is too far away.
When managing many tasks, you must identify the critical path.
That sounds very serious, Mark. What does it mean in plain English?
It is the sequence of stages determining the minimum time needed for an entire project.
So if a task on the critical path is late, the whole project is late.
So, if a task on the critical path is late, the whole project is late.
We also need to talk about people and tools. We need to ensure proper resource allocation.
Allocation refers to the process of assigning and managing assets in a manner that supports project goals.
It is like making sure everyone has the right amount of work and the right tools to do it.
If allocation is poor, some people are overworked while others are idle.
To save time, I am always looking for ways of streamlining workflow.
Streamlining means making a system or process more efficient by removing unnecessary steps.
For example, using a template instead of writing every email from scratch.
It makes the whole day feel much smoother and less cluttered. This is a big one for me. How should we pace ourselves for the Q4 push?
To pace oneself means to do something at a steady rate to avoid becoming overtired.
Project management is a marathon, not a sprint.
Precisely. If you go too fast at the start, you will crash before the deadline. Here is a golden rule: under-promise and over-deliver.
That means telling someone you will finish by Friday, but then finishing by Wednesday.
It builds trust with your clients and your boss.
It is much better than the opposite, which is overpromising and then missing the deadline. We cannot forget the stakeholders. Stakeholders are any individuals or groups who have an interest in or are affected by the project. This includes your boss, the clients, and even other departments. Keeping them happy is a major part of any project manager's job.
Good communication is key. I'll keep the stakeholders in the loop.
To keep someone in the loop means to keep them informed about what is happening.
Even if there is no news, a quick "everything is on track" update is very helpful.
It prevents them from worrying and asking you for updates every 5 minutes. Just doing a quick bandwidth check before we start the next phase.
Bandwidth, in a professional sense, refers to your capacity to take on more work.
If my bandwidth is full, it means I literally cannot handle any more tasks right now.
It is an honest way to tell your team you are at your limit.
We must avoid scope creep at all costs.
Scope creep is when a project's requirements grow beyond the original plan.
It usually happens when a client keeps adding just one more little thing.
Suddenly, a 1-month project takes 3 months because of those little things. Let's practice. Mark, how is your week looking?
Honestly, I'm currently juggling 3 major priorities, so things are quite busy.
That is a great use of the phrase. It shows you are active but focused.
It also signals to others that I might not have much extra bandwidth.
We need to ensure proper resource allocation for the marketing launch.
I agree. We should check if the design team has enough time to help us.
If we allocate their time correctly now, we won't have a bottleneck later.
Right. Good allocation is the foundation of a smooth project.
The client is nervous about the timeline.
Don't worry, I'll keep the stakeholders in the loop with a daily status report.
That will definitely lower their stress levels.
It is all about building that channel of transparent communication.
We covered juggling priorities, simultaneous projects, and milestones.
Don't forget the critical path, resource allocation, and streamlining workflow.
We also learned about pacing ourselves, underpromising, and managing stakeholders.
And finally, we discussed keeping people in the loop, bandwidth checks, and scope creep.
Mark, I have a problem. Both Project Alpha and Project Beta are due this Thursday.
That is a tough spot. Let's look at the critical path for both to see which is more urgent.
Project Alpha has more stakeholders waiting, but Project Beta is nearly finished.
Okay, let's streamline the workflow for beta first to get it off your plate early.
Emma, take a look at how I manage these simultaneous projects using this Kanban board.
Oh, wow! All the tasks are color-coded into to-do, in progress, and done.
Exactly. It helps me visualize my bandwidth at a single glance.
I love how the green cards show exactly where we have reached our milestones.
Mark, I've managed to streamline my workflow and save 2 hours every day.
That is impressive, Emma. How did you do it?
I automated my status reports and set specific times to check emails.
That is a great way to ensure you are pacing yourself and avoiding burnout.